Hi guys, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you how I built and hung a custom sauna door in my DIY sauna, and this is what it ends up looking like by the end of this video. So I'm sure you'll agree it's looking really nice. It's all clad with cedar on the outside. We've got a nice bit of toughened glass in there. So without further ado, let's get started and I'll show you how I did it. So the first job here is just to measure up. I'm measuring the door opening here inside the door casing, the height and the width. You can see I'm just making a couple of little marks there on a stud inside. I'm actually just writing down the measurements. So I'll show you these right now. So we have 1930 for the height and 660 for the width. Okay, so to get started with this, we're actually going to be creating the core of the door out of 18mm ply. So this is a hardwood ply. Sometimes they call it China ply or red-faced ply, but it's kind of a medium quality. It's going to be okay for outdoors. And the fact that it's going to be covered with two other layers, there's going to be a layer of cedar on the outside and a layer of alder cladding on the inside. This is going to be completely concealed. It's never going to be exposed to the weather. The real reason for this is just to give it a solid core. Now, as you can see, when I put this in the opening, it's far too small. And you might be thinking that I've made a mistake here, but actually what I've done is exactly right. This is exactly what I intended, because I'm going to be adding an edging around the edge of the plywood. This is again going to be cedar, which you can see cut out here on the trestles. So this is around 20mm thick. The cladding itself that I've cut this from was 19mm and the ply is 18mm. So I did need to plane this down by 1mm to make it exactly the same thickness. But what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be putting an external wood glue all over the edge here. I'm going to just be clamping that in place, and then I'm going to pin it with the pin gun. Now the pins here are not the main fixing. This glue is going to go off really, really strong. So the bond between the edging and the ply itself is going to be extremely strong. We're also going to be cladding over the top of this as well. So this edging is going to be very, very secure. But as you can see, I'm just gluing it up, clamping it, and then pinning it in place. And the pins are just going to hold it as the glue goes off, really. That's their main purpose. And, you know, they do give a slight additional fixing strength as well. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same on the sides here. Another point to mention here is there are going to be pinholes, and I am going to need to plane this. But luckily, the nail gun does drive the pins, you know, a few mil below the surface. So I shouldn't have any problems with this. And I can tell you I didn't do, actually, throughout the whole project. Okay, so the next job here, I'm going to be cutting out a window. So I'm going to have some toughened glass in the door. Obviously we want a little bit of light into the sauna. So this is kind of essential to have a window because there's no other window on the entire sauna itself. So what I'm doing here is I'm just measuring out, and with this I just kind of made the measurement up. I just thought what would look nice. I wasn't really sure about the width, so you can see I'm just using 5 pieces of cladding, which are going to actually be the outer layer of the door, just to kind of work out exactly where I want this window to be. So I had 2 ideas. One, you see me marking there, and the next there. So you can see me making 2 marks. And the reason for this was I wasn't sure how wide I wanted it. So I just thought I'll mark both out. And when I can sort of stand back and look at the cutout, then I can make the decision. So I'll show you that now. You can see we've got the wider one and the narrower one. In the end, I went narrower. I just thought it was better for the structural integrity of the door. So the first job here is just to drill a little hole in the corner, and then I'm just going to run all the way around this with the jigsaw. And as you'll notice here, I'm not going neat on the corners here. I'm just kind of running into the corner and then going around. You can come back and sort that out later. And then once you've cut around the whole thing, you can just come back and tidy those corners up. So I'm just going to do the nice little corner cuts, make them nice and straight. Tidy that up, a little bit of a rub around with a piece of sandpaper. And there you go, guys. So that is the door completely edged now, and we also have the opening for the window. And as you can see, if we pop that in the casing now, it fits pretty much perfectly. So this is actually already starting to look a little bit like a door, but obviously it's nowhere near finished yet. We need to add some cladding, and the first layer is the outer layer, which is going to be the exact same cladding I used on the sauna itself, and that is a British Western red cedar. So as you can see here, I'm using the external wood glue again, which I'm absolutely lathering all over the plywood there, and then I'm sticking the cladding down to that. I'm using some clamps to hold it on the edge, and then I'm fixing down the tongue with hidden nails. So what this is going to do, this is just going to hide those nails entirely. And again, just like the edging, the nails here are not meant to be the structural part. They're just holding it in place while the glue goes off. Okay, so you can see me now cutting out another piece of cedar. This is the little cutout to go around the window. So you can see I just did the first bits there with the handsaw, and then again I'm going to use the jigsaw just to do the longer cut. And as you'll notice, again, I've done kind of a rounded corner there. There's no point struggling here, guys. Just do the round corner and then cut the last bit out afterwards. It makes things much easier, and there's much less chance of you breaking the piece of cladding when you do something like this. Again, plenty of glue down here. I'm going to knock this up so the tongue and groove are nice and tight. And then I'm going to add some more nails in. So they are, again, hidden nails. And it's just the same process really all the way along. Plenty of glue. A good few nails in the tongue just to hold it in place. Again, these are not designed to be the main fixing the nails. They are additional fixings. The real fixing here is the glue, and that is going to hold everything nice and tight to that plywood while everything goes off. So again, we're going to have another little cutout around the window on the other side. A ton of glue on there. Push that in. Give it a little tap up with an offcut. And then just exactly the same process, nails all the way down the side. So as you can see, the process here is not overly complicated. You've just got to get it on, get plenty of glue in there, pin it in place, and then just leave it to dry for a few hours. And once that's done, this is what you're going to end up with. And as you can see, this is starting to look a lot more like an actual door. So once that side was done, I'm going to move to the other side. This is a different type of cladding. First things first, guys, I'm going to apologize for the camera angle here. It's just not a very good angle. The quality for some reason just hasn't worked out very good. I think it's because of the sun. So it doesn't really do the alder justice, but this is actually really, really nice internal sauna wood. And you will see it a bit later on in the video when I'm planing the door up. But once that's on, you can pop that in place, see if it fits. And as you can see, this fits pretty nice. I'm just going to do a little bit of marking up there to plane it up. And then as you can see, I've propped it up on the deck here, just using a few pieces of wood fixed together. And I've kind of lifted one end off the floor. The reason I did this, when it was all touching the floor, it was sliding about a bit. But as you can see now, once I prop this up, it's like very sturdy. I can just run along it with the hand plane or the electric plane, and it basically doesn't slide backwards and forwards at all, which made it a lot easier to plane just by lifting that front edge off the floor. Another point to make here is I am using the hand plane more than the electric plane. Personally, I prefer to do that. I think it just gives you a little bit more accuracy. The electric plane is just nice for finishing off or getting it started, really, in my opinion. But, you know, by all means, you know, you use whatever you feel most comfortable with. So I'm just going to check that in place. As you'll notice here, I'm not 100% happy, so I'll just make a few little marks. And I'm just going to do a tiny little bit more planing off here. So again, I'm just going to go over this with the hand plane. It's just taking that final little bit off. And you'll notice I keep looking down at the side, and that's because I have pencil marks on that left-hand side where I'm just looking down to make sure I'm not planing too far, and just to make sure I'm coming down to where I'm meant to be going. Okay, so once that's done, there is one other little job here to make this fit, and that's just to tidy the top up. So as you can see, this is just the natural shape of the cladding, really. So I just wanted to take this off really nice and straight. So I just used the circular saw with a guard here. Unfortunately, this is a little bit of a cheap circular saw, and it didn't have the full depth for this door. So I had to just finish this off with the handsaw. But this is easy enough. I had a brand new handsaw, which as you can see, is just taking that bottom edge off nice and easily. I'm just holding it nice and tight to the top edge and running it along that bottom piece there to cut it off. Now it does look a little bit rough, so I'm just going to go over those furry edges there with the block planer, take the guard off here and the level, remove that, and then just give it a little run over with the orbital sander, which is just going to tidy that all up. And there you go, that's the door pretty much done at this point. The only other thing to do is to just fill any gaps. So obviously we have three layers here. We have the external cladding, the plywood, and the internal cladding. There's also quite a lot of pinholes, as you'll remember from before. So I just want to fill all these up, let this dry, give it a little bit of a sand. And then eventually we are going to oil the door as well using Osmo UV Protect oil. Okay, so let's get the door in place now. We're going to mark up for the hinges. So you can see I'm putting a couple of packers there on the bottom, and this is just going to lift the door up into the exact right position. I've also put another packer on the left hand side at the top there just to wedge it tight up to the right hand side, and this is going to be the hinge side. So what you can see me doing now is just marking out for the hinges. Now the reason I'm doing this with the door in situ is I want them to be in exactly the right place. So the gap at the top of the door here is exactly what I want. If instead I was to mark out the door separate to the casing, this would be much more likely to cause issues and there to be mistakes. Okay, so once I've got the markings there, I'm going to mark out the hinges on the door and I'm going to start chopping these out. So you can see that I've just drawn around the hinge with a nice sharp pencil there, and then I'm going to go round the marks with, again, a very nice sharp chisel. And this is important. If you want to get a nice clean mark with a pencil, your pencil wants to be sharp. If you want to cut out nice and neat with the chisel, also make sure it's sharp. So you can see there, I've just done some little angled cuts along the length of the hinge there, and then you can just scrape those out with the chisel, and it's just a case of paring out the rest of the wood. You can see I'm just applying pressure to the top of the chisel when I'm doing that, and then pushing it into the gap. Now you will see here there's a big massive knot which caused me a load of problems, and this just goes to show that just because chopping a hinge out might be relatively simple, you know, you can come across stuff like this which are going to cause you problems. But you can see it's just a case of persevering and kind of changing the way you do it a little bit. And just to show you how much easier this is when there's not a knot in the way, I will show you another one straight after this one's been done. But you can see here I'm just cutting this out. Once that's done, I can pop the hinge in. As you'll see, that fits perfectly. This is a stainless steel fire checked hinge as well. I believe it's fire checked to something like 60 minutes. And these are also stainless steel screws. So they're going to be able to handle the heat, and also they're not going to be eroding with the weather, you know, rusting and things like that. Okay, so you can see another one here. This is a hinge that didn't have a big knot in it. You can see how much easier it is to chop out this, and it pairs out in basically a couple of minutes, and the hinge there fits perfectly. So once this is done, I'm going to move on to the door casing, because we also need to chop the hinges into the door casing. And obviously, because we mark these together, we know for a fact that these are in exactly the right place. Okay, so you can see I'm just going to work my way down the door. I will say as well, for me personally, cutting hinges into the casing is much more difficult than into the door. And this is mainly just, I find the position that you're working in a little less comfortable. But nonetheless, once they're done, you can see this is going to go into place relatively easily. I'm going to put the top screw in, a screw in the bottom hinge, and then I'm going to also add a screw in the middle hinge. Once these are done, I can just check whether the door hangs properly. So I'm going to shut it, and unfortunately it's catching a little bit at the top there, so I decided to add a few more screws into the top hinge just to see if that pulled it over. And as you'll see now, it's still catching, and I think it's just the leading edge here, so I decided to just take a few little passes off with the planer on that edge there. And as you can see, that fits perfectly now. I'm just going to run over that with the orbital sander just to remove any of the marks left by the planer. But as you can see, that's hanging pretty nice now, and I'll just come over here and show you those hinges. As you can see, these are really nice and flush there. They've been cut flush with the casing and with the door. And what that's going to do is it's going to leave a perfect gap on that hinge side. Okay, so once that's done, another job that I'm going to be doing here is adding some edging inside the window opening. The reason for this is obviously we have the 3 layers there, the cladding, the ply, and the internal cladding exposed. So this layer here is just going to be glued and pinned on. Also worth noting, the 3 layers that were beneath this, I did fill them with filler, sanded it up, dried it, and I also oiled it. So at this point now, it should be nice and watertight. So I'm just going to fix this down with some nails, and then following that, I'm going to also add some beading. This is going to act as a rebate for the glass to sit in. So I ordered some toughened glass for this window. Unfortunately, this had a 7 to 10 day lead time, so I'm just waiting for this at the minute. But you can see how the opening looks here. You can see how that glass is going to fit in. And while we're waiting for the glass, I'm going to have to seal this up because we had some bad weather over the next week, and I didn't want water getting into the sauna. So I'm just going to put a little bit of OSB in there, fix that in with a couple of little chocks of wood, so you can see that's nice and tight in there. Hopefully no moisture will get in. A couple of pins in the bottom, pin in the top. There we go, that's nice and safe until the glass arrives. And thankfully the glass came the next week, and this was actually really easy to fit. So you can see I'm just adding another piece of beading down at the bottom. So this is the front beading, the external beading. I put a decent piece of silicone on the back of it and also onto the back edge where the glass is, and I'm just going to slot that in. Currently that bottom piece of beading is just friction fit, nice and tight. So I'm going to do the same with the top one, and that's just going to hold the glass in place. You can see I'm just wiping away a little bit of silicone there. And then I'm going to go get the side pieces and pop those in as well. And again, I'm just going to put a load of silicone down there. I'm also going to put a lot of silicone on the bead itself. So I've basically got silicone going onto the back edge, into the window, and then also into the edge, into the glass. So basically the plan here is just that no moisture can get past this beading, essentially. As I mentioned before, I filled the edging around the opening and I oiled it, but this silicone is just going to give it even more waterproofing. So this was relatively simple. I did get a bit of mess with the silicone, but it wasn't too complicated. I just cleaned it away with my finger. As you can see, this is looking pretty decent. I'm actually rather happy with this. It lets a decent amount of light into the sauna as well, which I'm very pleased with. The final job here is just to tidy up the outside, and I'm going to do that by adding some architrave around the edge. So again, I just used some offcuts of cedar cladding that I ripped down, and you can see these are just pinned in place. They've got the 45-degree angle on them, and I'm just going to glue the joints on these, and it's just going to really tidy the outer edge up. So let me know what you think, guys. I mean, this is pretty much there now. The door is hanging. It's looking pretty good. I'm actually really happy with the way it looks. In the next video, I'm going to be adding a roller latch. I'm also going to be adding a concealed door close and a handle. But let me know what you think of this video. Did you enjoy it? Do you think I did a good job? And how do you think the sauna door looks? Do you think it's kind of aesthetically sauna looking? I actually think it looks really nice. But yeah, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You can keep up with this entire project. If you like the video, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video.